What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zay coming back with another video. You know what I'm saying? How everybody feeling today? You know what I'm saying? Let me know down in the comments, y'all. Today, y'all, we finna do another reaction, man. Rappers that passed away on drills. You know, by the title of this, man, hey, it's another day, you know what I'm saying, in the hood. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff goes around, you know what I'm saying, in the streets, you know. And that's why I advise y'all, if y'all got an opportunity to get out the streets, get out the street. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we finna get to this video, man. Make sure that like button and subscribe button. Yeah, let's get to the video.
There's a popular saying that goes, live by the gun, die by the gun. This saying teaches us that the lifestyles we choose to live can often have unintended yet predictable outcomes.
Facts.
The subject of today's video would come face to face with
Yeah,
this
y'all,
lesson.
you'll never know when your last day is, man. That's why I say y'all put God first, you know what I'm saying? And don't take life for granted. For real.
In today's video, we'll be telling the stories of 3 rappers that died while in the act of trying to kill another person. But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Big Bucks Elo, real name Elijah McKinney, was from St. Louis, Missouri. Similar to cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, and New Orleans, murder is commonplace in St. Louis. According to CBS News, it's the second most dangerous city in America. St. Louis has heavy gang activity going on, and Elo was involved. He was a member of a gang called Big Bucks. Big Bucks primarily consists of 6 Deuce Crips, and they reside on Solway Avenue in North St. Louis. Elo was known for allegedly being a top shooter in his crew and was thirsty to go after his opposition. St. Louis, similar to many cities with heavy gang activity, contained many gang members that also rapped. Elo was a drill rapper, and his songs primarily served as disses to his ops and described his life in the streets. One of Big Buck's main ops is another crew called The Six. On December 5th, 2016, Elo lost a close friend of his named Rookie, real name Damani H., who died as a result of a drive-by shooting. It's rumored that members of The Six were allegedly responsible for this. More specifically, a rapper from The Six named KB6. Years down the line, Elo would run into KB6 and would go on a wild mission to kill him in order to avenge Rookie. That mission would ultimately cost Elo his life.
Get to that breaking news we are covering for you in North St. Louis. Police telling us several people have been shot and 3 of them have died. This happened just before 2 o'clock this afternoon in the Walnut Park West neighborhood.
On July 29th, 2020, Elo, his friend named Day Sav, real name Dejan Nearing, and another friend named J2Z, real name Joshua Emerson, were in a stolen car riding through the 5500 block of Floyd Avenue at about 1:40 p.m. Elo was the driver, Day-Sav was in the front passenger seat, and J2Z was in the back. As they were driving, they spotted KB. Upon spotting him, they opened fire, shooting him multiple times. Members of the Six were in the area and started shooting back at Elo and his crew, leading to a full-blown shootout. People who lived nearby told police they heard non-stop gunshots. During this shootout, both Elo, Day-Sav, and J2Z were all shot repeatedly. In the aftermath, KB, Elo, and Day-Sav were all pronounced dead at the scene. KB was just 22 years old, and Elo and Day-Sav were just 18 years old.
Man, they was young.
J2Z, who was 17 at the time.
Only 17? He was only 17? Yeah, man, that's what I'm telling y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Eye for eye ain't always the way, you know what I mean? It ain't, man, because it comes to a point, man, where you have to stop. Like J Mane, like FYB J Mane, you know what I mean? The dude that be having the whoops. You know what I'm saying? He don't be doing, you know what I'm saying? He stopped. You know what I'm saying? He trying to stop the violence now. You got to respect that, man. Because it's like, what you going to get out of it, bro? It's just going to be continuous. Oh, I'm going to get your homie. You get my homie. I'm going to get your homie. It's going to keep going back and forth. Until somebody is, you know what I'm saying? Until somebody pass away or until somebody's locked up. So that's why That's why I say, y'all, if y'all can get out the streets, y'all got an opportunity to get out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the way. You know what I'm saying? Eye for eye, it's not gonna get you nowhere. You know what I mean?
Taken to the hospital and ultimately survived his injuries. The killers of Elo and Daysap weren't charged, most likely due to self-defense. J2Z was actually the one charged with all three murders. He was officially charged with 1 count of first-degree murder for the death of KB and 2 counts of second-degree murder for the deaths of Elo and Daysap. Missouri law allows prosecutors to file murder charges if someone dies during the commission of a felony, even if the defendant did not directly cause the death. After 3 years, those charges were ultimately dismissed without prejudice, meaning they could possibly be filed again at a later date. The reason Jay's charges were dropped is because all of the possible witnesses refused to respond and show up to court. In the end, Elo achieved his goal of killing his bitter enemy, but suffered the ultimate consequence as a result. Blumberg G's, real name Anthony Watson, was from North Philadelphia. He was a member of a set called Blumberg, also known as the Black Flags. The Black Flags primarily beef with Zoo Gang, Diamond Street, and Burke Street /2418. Blumberg G's would eventually start rapping and built a reputation for himself in the streets. Most of his songs were about killing his enemies. He was known for always being willing to go on a drill and never hesitating to fire his gun. This mentality would lead to G's eventually getting charged with murder. On August 23, 2020, a rival gang member to G's named Little Ranger, real name Hayward Garrison, was in the 2200 block of Diamond Street just after 1 a.m. when a gunman pulled up and opened fire. Little Ranger was struck, then he reportedly ran to the corner of Van Pelt and Diamond Street where he collapsed and was quickly picked up by a passing vehicle. While the car was driving to the hospital, the occupants flagged down a police cruiser that was responding to the shooting. Little Ranger was placed in the police car and taken to Temple Hospital, where he passed away just after 1:30 a.m. at just 16 years old. Blumberg G's was allegedly the gunman in this incident.
Man, and they young
It is widely
too,
rumored that
man.
Little Ranger allegedly killed a Black Flag member named 40 earlier that year, and this is why Blumberg G's allegedly killed him. Blumberg G's was officially charged for the 2020 murder of Little Ranger in March of 2022, and he was placed on Philadelphia's most wanted list. Rather than turn himself in, G's would go on the run. While on the run, he didn't keep a low profile. Similar to the rapper Take K, he continued to make music and post music videos on his YouTube channel despite the fact that he was on the most wanted list and the police were looking for him. G's was on the run for over a year and was never caught. Ultimately, the police would never get the chance to arrest him, as G's would lose his life while attempting to kill one of his enemies. On May 31st, 2023, G's was sliding on members of Zoo Gang in the 1800 block of North Woodstock Street just after 8:15 p.m. Once spotting some of his ops, gunfire erupted. In the aftermath, G's was shot once in the head and was then rushed to Temple University Hospital. 4 hours later, he would succumb to his injuries and be officially pronounced dead at just 21 years old. Members of Zoo Gang would claim that they were the ones that killed G's as he tried to slide on them, but members of the Black Flags and people online would claim that G's was accidentally killed by friendly fire by the person he was sliding with. The truth of what happened has not yet been officially confirmed. G's was wearing gloves and a mask when he died, so it was clear that he was on a drill when it happened.
Bloodhound Lil Jeff.
Bloodhound Little Jeff, real name Jeffrey Harris, is a rapper and gang member from the east side of Chicago. He had 2 brothers and was raised primarily by his mother, as his dad wasn't really around. He quit playing basketball after he didn't make the varsity team, so he looked for something else to do with his life. His rough upbringing led to him gravitating towards the streets. When Jeff was just 14 years old, his house was shot up and a bullet flew by his face, nearly hitting him. His older brother was active in the streets and would introduce Jeff to it. He officially jumped off the porch at 18 years old. Jeff was a member of Drill City /Bloodhound, which claims the area of 79th and Maryland. They beef with BKN, Trap City, TYMB, 8 Trey Mob, and 800. Little Jeff was wild. He got a bullet tattooed on his face, but was always on Instagram Live dropping his location and displaying heavy artillery. Little Jeff became well known because he openly bragged on numerous occasions that he killed over 10 people and that he was a top killer in Chicago. The Bloodhounds' primary beef is with another group called Trap City. Trap City and the Bloodhounds actually used to be cool with each other, but according to an interview Trap City members did, the beef started after members of the Bloodhounds allegedly stole a chain from a Trap City member. Both sides would start dissing each other, and eventually things escalated to bloodshed. On March 16, 2023, a beloved member of the Bloodhounds named Z-Money, real name Zaire Nelson, was shot and killed. It is widely believed that Trap City was allegedly responsible for this murder. Little Jeff said in an interview that the death of Z-Money made him see red and made him cold-hearted. About 3 months later, Little Jeff would allegedly avenge Z-Money's death. On June 25, 2023, a Trap City member named Leo, real name Jaleel Goins, had just got into the back seat of a Lyft ride in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street in Little Italy just before 9 p.m. when another car approached. Someone inside hopped out, walked up to the backseat window where Leo was sitting, and opened fire. Leo was shot multiple times and rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead at just 19 years old. Little Jeff and other members of Bloodhound went on social media and pretty much openly confessed to being responsible for Leo's murder and that it was a get back for...
He was only 19, y'all. The world nowadays crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest on here, man. I don't think it's cool, you know what I mean? But a lot of people think it's cool nowadays. That's the wave now. You know what I'm saying? To do stuff like this. It ain't cool. If y'all watching this, hey, it ain't cool in my eyes. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the type of person to keep it real, man. You know what I'm saying? Staying out the way, providing for your family. That's cool in my books. You know what I'm saying? Getting that money, you know what I'm saying? Staying out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's more to the world than this stuff. You know what I mean? Because when you gone, where you think you gonna go? Where you think you gonna go when you gone? Me personally, I believe there's a heaven and a hell. You know what I mean? So I tell y'all, put God first, man. Stuff like this ain't the wave, man. I'm telling you.
Money. Following this incident, Little Jeff would continue to kill. Little Jeff and Bloodhound used to be cool with members of BKN. In fact, there's videos of Jeff online hanging out with them. Well, everything changed after Jeff was allegedly robbed by BKN members for his watches. This made him want to get back at them as soon as possible. Well, he would allegedly do so in a horrific manner. On January 26, 2024, a BKN member named Monty, real name Ontario Williams, and another young man named Little Rob, real name Robert Boston, were standing outside of their school, Innovations High School, when a group of masked gunmen jumped out of two vehicles in front of the school and opened fire. The gunmen let off dozens of shots, striking Monty and Little Rob multiple times in the chest. Both were rushed to the hospital, where Monty would be pronounced dead at just 17 years old, and Little Rob would be pronounced dead at just 16 years old. Following this double homicide, Little Jeff went on social media, openly bragging about being responsible, claiming that he and his crew killed them because they stole from him. Jeff had already started rapping at this point, but he hadn't had that much success. Him bragging so openly about this double murder actually made him go viral online, and all of his music began to boost in popularity. As his music was rising in popularity and people began to learn of his story and claims of allegedly having over 10 bodies, Jeff's fame continued to grow at a fast pace. Despite his rising fame and finances, Little Jeff could never get over his bloodthirst, especially for members of Trap City. This bloodthirst would lead to his untimely death. On June 8, 2024, Little Jeff was in the 6600 block of South Roads at 5:14 p.m. with other members of the Bloodhounds looking for Trap City members. Once they spotted one, Little Jeff hopped out of the car shooting and chased his victim into a house. Once he reached the steps of the house, someone within the house returned fire and shot Jeff in the chest. The shooter then stood over Jeff and shot him up to 15 times. The people with Jeff shot back, but it was too late. Once the gunfire
15
ended,
times?
Jeff's crew transported him to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at just 21 years old. The whole shootout was caught on camera and the footage went viral online. A member of Trap City named Rob is believed to be the gunman that killed Jeff. Rob is currently locked up for a separate gun charge. He was not charged with the murder of Jeff, likely due to Chicago's mutual combat law that has been applied to other Chicago shootouts in the past. Following his death, Little Jeff's notoriety has grown to new heights, and he has become the face of modern drill music. This lifestyle is crazy. There's truly no winners. It seems like everyone's story ends in one or two sad outcomes. Stay out of the streets. RIP to everyone who passed away in this video. Let me know if you guys want a part 2, and please be sure.
Yeah, man. Like I say, hey, if y'all got an opportunity to get out the streets, matter of fact, get out the streets. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say if you get an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Get out the streets. You know what I mean? Get up out of there, man. It ain't the way, man. Make sure y'all think before y'all do. Put God first. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button, y'all. Hit that like button, that subscribe button. Yeah, I'll catch y'all next video.